Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today's video I thought would be super fun, at least for me and hopefully for you to watch. I thought it would be fun to go through and grab out my most reached for face base products. Foundation, powder, blush, bronzer, contour, all the things that I put on my face. I've been trying some new stuff lately, but I find myself reaching for some of the same things over and over and over again. So I wanted to share that with you. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share. I appreciate your support. I'm about to have a very naked face, so brace yourself. All right, let's get this hair pulled back and hopefully not mess it up, because I kind of like how it looks today. But we all know I'm gonna get makeup in my hair if I try to put it on without pulling it back. Wow, I look insane. Okay, let's just jump right in. Like I mentioned, this is going to be a base face for the most part of things I've been loving. Some are a surprise and some are not at all, like old faves. Never gonna put them down. Let me just get a little bit more of that. Okay, this is, I probably should have mentioned this sooner. This is the Fenty Beauty, what is it called? Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. I don't usually use primers. I feel like they're kind of gimmicky, but this one absolutely makes a difference on my face. My skin looks smoother, especially in here and on my nose, which is pretty impressive, I think. So I'm gonna get that worked in. Okay, while that's settling in, I'm gonna go in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base under my eyes. I just started doing this a couple weeks ago maybe, and I really like the hydration it gives me under my eyes. I think my concealer sits better, which, if you've been here for a minute, you know is a struggle for me. My under eyes are pretty darn wrinkly. So just super gently working that in. And then while that settles in, I'm gonna go in with my foundation. Something I always forget about, and I don't know why. I'm kind of, maybe it's neurotic in me, but I struggle with mixing foundations, even though I know that's what works. I can't find a foundation shade that matches me perfectly. So I was going through my foundations, which is not a small feat. There's a lot of them. So when I was going through my foundations, I remembered I bought a bunch of different colors, different shades of the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. So I have this shade, which is TP2. I don't know what that means in like actual color. And I have the shade MG2 that I'm currently mixing together. I do have 2 or 3 other bottles. I bought those knowing that I was gonna mix and match. It's very hard for me to find a shade that matches me. I don't think that I'm unique. I think it happens to a lot of people. The only one product that I found that matches me right now for the moment, like with my skin tone, which is a lot darker than my face, is the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. And this is in the shade Light 280. This is my other most reached for product. I love this. I think it's fantastic. I just recently got the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, and I like that a lot too, but I've only used it once. I think only once, so I need to use that some more to see if it's gonna be one of my faves or not. I did add a darker shade to my cart so I could continue using it. I'm a crazy person. So I'm just using my highlighter cover as a mixing palette. So I've just squirted out a full pump of the darker shade and about a half a pump of the lighter shade. I'm just gonna mix the two on there and get it on my face. I just use the other side of a little tiny brush. It's usually the one I use for my inner corner highlight. And so as to not waste any, slap it on my face. For this particular foundation, I do really like going in with a dense foundation brush. I think it looks really nice and it goes on super easy. It's got pretty good coverage. That's very good coverage. So I'm just gonna get that going. And again, this isn't a perfect match, but the tone, the depth, it all just looks a little bit better. I will of course be going in with bronzer because that's what I do. Okay, that's on. Again, it doesn't match me perfectly, especially in the camera, but once it's all bronzed and everything's done, I think we're gonna look okay. So next, let's go in with concealer. Now, I've been reaching for both of these equally. One is the Wet n Wild Mega Lost Incognito Concealer, and the other one is this one I picked up from Ulta Beauty. It's a full coverage liquid concealer. I've really been liking both of these. So on my lid, I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Incognito. Just get that looking a little less nutty. So I like this concealer for my eyelids because it seems to dry down and doesn't really crease. And if it does a little bit, like if I forget to sit like this and it creases, I can just pat it out with my brush. So that's pretty cool. It's allowed me to play with eyeshadow in a different way than I usually do. Okay, and this is in the shade Light Warm, the Ulta Beauty one, for under my eyes and around my face. So right in here. Cupid's bow, chinny chin chin, my forehead. So these are the two that I've been really loving. Prior to finding these, I used the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, the moisturizing version, and I love that. I think that's always going to be in my stash. But just lately, I've been liking reaching for these. So if you're on the hunt for a new concealer for the price, it's probably worth picking up and to see if you like it. This Ulta one does have a little more coverage than the Wet n Wild one. A little red mole or freckle, whatever it is mostly covered here. And for my smile lines, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Incognito because I don't need coverage necessarily. I just need a little bit of brightening. I like this for my smile lines. Don't do that, Janice. Goodness. Okay. Now I'm going to go over all of that with my foundation brush and I'll be right back. Okay, so I dampened my sponge. I'm just going to pat over everything I did to my face. I feel like it helps to press it in, absorb any extra product that may have settled in somewhere. I think one thing that bums me out is I really want to like stick foundations. I see people use it and it looks so easy and it blends out so nice. It looks great on the skin. But for me, it ends up looking really heavy. It does something weird and gross around my nose. So I have 3 or 4 stick foundations. I just can't use them. They are not good for my skin. It's a bummer. That would be super easy. Okay. Now for powder. I just have one true love. I have not found anything else, no matter what has been suggested via videos that I watch, that work as well as the Nakia Joy Velvet Finishing Powder. I love this under my eyes, all over my face. This is where it's at for me. And this is the last one I have, so I have to order it back up before I even get close to running out. I just love this. I used the Laura Mercier one, which everyone raves about. It is a cult favorite, but it's not my favorite. I just don't love it like I love this. So I've got it on my sponge. I'm going to start out here and just press it on. And then with whatever's left, I'm gonna dab under my eyes. First, I'm gonna make sure there's no creasing. Okay, and now I just will go in on the rest of my face. I really focus the heaviest bits of powder where I tend to get oily, which is obviously my T-zone. And then I just pat all over. It looks a little crazy right now. Don't panic. We'll all brush away and look, well, as good as my skin can look. Oh, great choice, wearing a black top and then powdering like a maniac. Powder over my shirt. I'm gonna let that sit just for a minute, and then I will dust the excess away and we'll move on to contour and bronzer. Okay, dust it away. Looks nice and smooth. I'm happy with it. Okay, if you've been here for a minute, you know my bronzer and contour preferences are both Hourglass. One of them, the contour, is Diffused Bronze Light. I love this. I use it like crazy. And the other is the Radiant Bronze Light for bronzer. I am going to branch out and get some new ones. I just had to figure out what I want to try, and then I'll do it. It's hard to change when something works really, really well. And obviously, I don't get like PR or anything, so everything that I get, I have to purchase on my own, which I don't mind, of course. But I don't want to buy something and then not be able to wear it. Like with the Undone Beauty. I gave it to my daughter and she'll be able to use it, but I will not. Okay, just gonna get my face contoured and I'll be back. Okay, bronzer and contour on. I just love them. They're so easy. It comes out looking the same every single time, which I really, really appreciate. I don't mind playing with new stuff, but when I'm going for things I know and love, I want it to look the same every single time. I'm born like that. Okay, now for blush. I chose out 2, which is what I've been trying to do with all the products except bronzer and contour. So my absolute most reach for is 100% this Wander Beauty cream blush that I got in my BoxyCharm in February, I think. So it's 3 months of me reaching for this pretty much on the reg. And this other blush that I chose is, let's see, what is this called? It's just called Rose, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me blush. That's what it looks like. It's got a little bit of a shimmer in it, if I can figure out how to make that happen. I don't know. So I like both of them. This one is a powder, the other one is a cream. So, and this one I tend to use more if I'm going with a neutral look or something very, very bold, and I just want some color on my cheeks. I want my cheeks to be like blushed, which I usually do, but sometimes I don't. So for today, I am going to go in with the Maybelline blush. I have to film another video, so I don't know what that's going to end up looking like. Okay, and I'm going to take my new favorite face brush from Refer. It's the number 5. I believe it's just a cheek brush. And I'm going to put that on. Keeping it back here for the most part. I don't want to drag my face down at all. I didn't add anything to the brush. I just like to meld the bronzer with the blush. You can't really see the difference, but I feel like it does a little something, and I like it. Now for highlighter, I chose out the 2 I've been reaching for, the absolute most. I love both of these with my whole heart. This first one is the Ofra by Samantha March highlighter in the shade Star Inspired. It's got a pinky shade and a golden shade. And the other one I chose, which I'm not going to open and hold up because it's a mess, is my Catrice Sungasm highlighter. I love both of these. The Catrice is obviously drugstore, and the Ofra is obviously not drugstore, but they are equally beautiful on the skin. I really, really like both of them. For the price, the Catrice, you can't beat it. I will never, ever, ever use all of this up. I don't think my great-great-grandchildren will be able to use this up, so certainly worth the money. But for today, I'm gonna go in with this one. I really like Samantha March, so it was pretty cool to be able to purchase something she had a hand in creating. She is a very, very good human. She's a great YouTuber. So it feels good to spend a little bit more than I normally would on something when I know it supports someone I enjoy. And I watch her channel all the time, so it only seems right. I also have her Life's a Draft palette, which I really, really like as well. If you'd like to see another video on that, just let me know, because I'll do it. I'm not scared. I love this highlighter. Oh, it's just stunning. I think that is everything for my base. I'm not gonna, well, do I do my brows? Yeah, I'll do my brows. So for brows, I chose out technically 4 products to go together, and those are my eyebrow pencils. The lighter one is the Ultra Slim Brow Pencil, and the darker one is the Brow Stylist Definer by L'Oreal. I like both of these in my brows. One is slightly lighter and warmer, and one is darker and cooler. So I go with the darker and the cooler on the outside, and then the warmer, lighter on the inner part of my brow. And if you've been here for a minute, you know I love the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I always want to say Brow Wow because it sounds like, you know, barking. I don't know. I love this brow gel. It's got little fibers in it, so it helps build up some texture in your brows. But very recently, I ordered and received the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. I tried to get this on the Sephora sale, but it wasn't there. So this stuff I think is so cool. It's a very firm gel. And so with this, you just scoop out however much you need. This is enough for me to do both brows. And then I smear it on the cover. And so I have this in my spoolie and I just rub it in and roll it into my brow. It feels pretty funky, but I have the laziest brows on the planet and they don't like to stand up. Since using this, they stand up and they stay there all day long. And that makes me happy. I take the other end and just gently press it against my skin. It helps the brows stay. So I'm gonna let those dry completely. And then I will go in with my pencils. Okay, my brows are set. They're all dried and stuck down. They're a little crunchy, but I don't mind that. I know they're gonna stay when I put them up and there's a bit of crunch. So I'm gonna take the darker shade and just start little hair stroke type shape out here, just to darken it up a little bit. And then up in here, along the bottom of my brow. Okay, I'm gonna finish getting this part done and I'll be back with the other shade. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Before I go into my brows with this warmer, lighter shade, I am gonna put my little moles back on. I've started using this one for this because the Fenty one is so dry. It just is too much work now. This one works so well. Okay, so with this one, I'm just gonna pretty much keep it up here near the top part of my brow and really just fill in any naked spots. My brows aren't perfect. They are probably never going to be. I'm okay with that. Grace over perfection. I think the last step I'm going to do for this particular video is mascara. I really like the Bye Bye Panda Eyes by Essence. That's been a go-to for a very long time now. I've turned a bunch of my friends onto it. It's just a nice, easy to wear mascara. But, and this is a very big butt, like baby got back kind of butt. This mascara, this is the Wet n Wild Big Papa mascara. OMG. I used this the first time Monday. When I was doing my makeup, I put it on. I forgot to curl my lashes, but my lashes were curled. It was the craziest thing. This doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't flake off. It doesn't smudge on my very oily lids. This is a fantastic mascara. Like, I will say, the brush on this is humongous. It's huge. It works really, 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 really well for getting mascara on the lashes. But I can't use it on my lower lashes. I'm definitely a chicken when it comes to that. But I do have a second mascara that I've been loving. So I thought I would just cheat a bit and throw them both in here. So this giant brush, I do have to be careful. I don't have the most steady hand. But look at that. I've been wearing false lashes pretty much every day. And the day that I wore this the first time, I didn't put any false lashes on. That just looks amazing. One coat, I'm blown away. That's one coat on both lashes, and I did not dip back in. I do have it all over my eyelid. The brush is huge. However, if I let it dry, I can swipe it right off. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then I will be back. Okay, these are my lashes. One coat of the Big Papa. I could do two, but like I said, I'm gonna film another video, so I don't wanna push my luck. Okay, so for my bottom lashes, I've been using this one from Benefit. It's the Roller Lash. I got the mini size in my Sephora haul. This is a very different brush situation. This one is it's like that hard, spiky, plasticky kind, but I really like this for my lower lashes. Boom, just like that. Nothing heavy. Just a little something so you can see my invisible lashes. I really like this. I like this on my top lash as well. It just doesn't give the same effect as the Big Papa mascara does. Okay, that is the video. My most reached for base face products. I am loving all of these. Have you tried any of them? Do you love them? Are you interested in trying any of them? I'd love to know. I'm nosy like that. And makeup just makes me happy. It's fun to talk about. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was fun, a little bit informational. If you did like it, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, share this with someone you know who may find it entertaining or helpful. I really appreciate your support. Be good and remember to be kind to you.